Yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I want to start this video off with something really funny today because, boy, the liberals, you guys are going to have a laugh at this one, the hypocrisy of the liberals coming out, essentially making themselves look stone-deaf stupid on national television. But before we get into that, now, I did say we're going to cover stories like that. We're still going to stick with those kind of things on the channel. But one thing I want to do is touch on something extremely funny, a little more lighthearted, and that is laughing at America, because if we can't laugh at America, well, what can we laugh at these days? Because certainly we've had enough laughs with Justin Trudeau, but I want to take a look at this video of Joe Biden. Good old Sleepy Joe. I wish we had somebody this vocally stupid running our country. Take a look at what Marty up north says here. Poor Joe. He got it wrong on all 3 tries. I don't want to show the quote too much because I don't want people to know what's coming, because it's good. Let's just get into it. Let's just go. Let's run. Here we go. Listen to what Sleepy Joe has to say about Donald Trump.
Turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Oh, hold on. We can only reelect Donald Trump. We can't win this election. Hang on. I know it's only on one side of the speakers. It's a bad recording, but here, let's play it again. Let's play it again. Guys. Oh my God. Oh, Joe. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Here we go.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Oh, dear God. Oh, Joe. Come on. What is it he used to say? Come on, man. That's not where the laughs end today, folks. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at where the laughs continue here on the channel. Now, I'm going to come out right forth and forthright to say that when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to the whole Roe v. Wade, when it comes to anything to do with that subject, I always stay Switzerland, because I'm not a woman. I don't have the ability to create life inside of me. I understand that as an adopted child, I'm going to point out as well. Keep in mind, I am an adopted child, because my parents were pregnant at a young age, and I'm very grateful for the life I was given. I'm grateful for being able to sit here today. I kind of like the idea of being alive, but I'm not going to argue somebody's choices, because everybody's in a different situation. There's different scenarios that are put out there, to each their own. I understand religion's a big part of it. I'm not getting into the messy details of that or what's right or wrong. What we're talking about today is hypocrisy, and one thing that I always find funny, anytime I make a mistake on this channel or slip up, everybody's so quick to jump in the comments. Derek, you messed this up. You said this, you said that. Oh, do your research. Get a better idea of what's going on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Get it together, man. Come on. This is clearly the liberals taking a big L, not doing on Pierre Poilievre before they come in to complain about the Conservative Party's stature on we'll say, women's rights. Let's take a listen.
Representative Women's Caucus and members of the Liberal Party, and we've sent a letter to the Leader of the Opposition asking him to be very clear with Canadians, and in particular with Canadian women, on what he would do to defend a woman's right to choose. We've seen that his caucus, there are many anti-choice caucus members. We've seen some of their actions recently, including MP Kathy Wagenthal, who at the pro-life rally held here last week said that women who have abortions end up needing redemption, forgiveness, and needing God. We as women want to know whether the Leader of the Opposition will ensure that his caucus does not put forward legislation that in any way impinges on women's rights and freedoms, in particular bodily autonomy.
His office has already said that.
What part is not clear? His office has said that they're not going to use the notwithstanding clause on abortion to regulate abortion. He said he's not going to legislate it, introduce it, pass it. So what part's not clear?
That's his government. There are ways that you can have private members' bill that are introduced as well, and the risk is still there.
What's really funny here is that they're doubling down. The reporters come out and say, look, they've already said, what is it you're complaining about here? Pierre Poilievre and his offices have already said they're not using the notwithstanding clause. They're not. You guys are just blowing hot air. What's going on here? Like, do your research. Do you not understand what it is you're complaining? And she says, there are ways. There are ways this could happen. We're going to double down. We're going all the way with this one, baby. It's let's continue.
You know, he voted against Morgentaler back in 2008 as person. I mean, he is, in every sense, that caucus and that leader has made women wonder about the risk that they're going to be taking with this leader. And I want him to come out and unequivocally say that they do everything to defend a women's right to choose, that they will not allow their members to come forward with private members' bills and put forward bills that suggest that a fetus is a person, which is a backdoor way of, again, addressing this issue.
Now, again, I'm not going to weigh in on, I'm Switzerland here. This is not about the issue. This is about the hypocrisy of not doing their homework on the claims that the party has made. The fact that this is one of the things I hate most about politics today is that they sit there and go, well, I'm just not happy enough with the words used. I want them to come to me and physically say it, not just put it in writing. I want them to come to me and kiss my shoes and tell me everything that's going to make me feel warm, fuzzy, and happy inside so I can go home and huff my farts and drink my Starbucks and say I made a change out of taxpayer-funded job that I have. Let's continue.
Is it he was here? The Harper government had 10 years. I know you weren't here. Many of us were. 10 years in power. They had 4 years as a majority, didn't move one bit. And they had private members who wanted to do things and do things. Guys, you are all 30 points down in the polls. I'm looking at some of you will not get reelected if there was an election this fall. This is the most cynical play to just throw the abortion scare tactic. Would you like to respond to that observation?
Absolutely. It's
Please.
not a scare tactic. We've seen what's happened in the States. Do people really think Roe versus Wade would have been overturned? Do we think what was happening there was going to happen? I've been in the women's movement for over 50 years. It is not a scare tactic. Things are going backwards, not only in Canada, but around the world. And these are real risks for Canadians. We need to know very clearly that that party, policies put forth at their convention, individual members are not going to introduce things because we do not want to go the same way as the United States. So it is not a scare tactic. It is a very strong concern. And I may not have been here then, but I was other places working on women's rights, okay? So do not use that as a reason why it's not a scare tactic.
Last question.
Let's just put it back the other way. The government hasn't also legislated to protect abortions either, right? So why doesn't your government introduce legislation to make it harder for that to get rolled back if there is a conservative government?
You do not want to legislate woman's body. You do not legislate woman's body. That is not, you make sure that you have access to abortion. You don't want to legislate anybody's body, particularly women's.
So they send in the racially diverse person because you can't just have diversity, equity, inclusion. You can't just have the angry white lady up there screaming and saying that, hey, this is this is terrible. We don't want to end up like the United States. Oh, don't dare question me. I'm a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. It's you know it's bad when government-shilled prostitutes actually rise up against you and say that you're wasting everybody's time. Ladies and gentlemen, I had no choice but to share this amazing video with you guys because I just fell off my chair laughing over and over again. Again, not the subject we're talking about, but the stupidity of of the Liberal Party of Canada. And the big question and the gotcha moment, well, why aren't you guys putting forward legislation if you're so bloody concerned about it? And of course they come out, you do not tell a woman what to do with her body, okay? You don't do that. Don't you step back. You don't ask the questions. It's Oh, God. Oh, I haven't laughed that hard since I was a little girl. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I don't identify as a girl. It was a joke. It was an Austin Powers reference. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure you're clicking the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. Join us live here on the channel every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, where we go over funny things like this and also other things that have happened in the political landscape as well. A little bit of back and forth with the community. I get to chat with you guys outside of making these videos, and I always look forward to sitting down and chatting and hearing what every one of you has to say. I enjoy it more than I'm giggling at this video. Still, it's still funny. I mean, share it out. Tell people about it. Give a thumbs up, a comment. Anytime these issues are mentioned on YouTube, they censor it down. So please, please like, comment, get it out there, share it to everybody. Let's have a laugh today. Let's laugh at the Liberals' expense. Because we need it sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of those times where it's just, again, I'm not talking about the issue at hand. We're talking about the hypocrisy and the stupidity. You love to see it. You love to hate to love to see it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.